What is up, Facebook? Hello, everyone. My name is Kay Wanderlam, the winning single mom, and I want to thank you for following me over here on my business page. So, if you're new to me, you're probably like, who is this lady who is always dropping this inspiration and telling us to push through? Well, here I am with my country self. Here I am. And I'm excited because I've been trying to figure out in my crazy schedule how to find time to get on live again. I like doing the little audio ones when I was off for the summer. And I think that this is going to be my time on a Sunday night for about 15 minutes to come through and chat with you guys, support a little inspirational wisdom, give some tips, because I've been doing this thing 17 years. 17 unexpected. I ain't asked for it years, and I'm sure you're in the same boat. You're like, how did I get here? And I'm here to tell you, you know what? It's not the thing we choose. Most of us, I know that there are some ladies who've chosen to become single moms. God bless you. We love you. We thank you. I'm so excited that you were ready to be a mom, and you were like, I'm going to take on this challenge. God bless you. We know what we want. But for some of us, many of us, it happened to us through divorce, through a breakup. You know, maybe the husband passed away. However you find yourself as a single mom, I want you to know that you can make it. That's why I do what I do. I want you to know that you can make it. I believe that we can reclaim our dreams. I've certainly gone after many of mine. And I'm here to tell you, if you decide to simply do it anyway, if you can push past the fear, if you can push past the pain, if you can push past the hurt, and figure out a way to go after what it is that you thought you lost, you'll find that you'll win sooner than later. And your babies need to see that example. So I have a Facebook group called Parent Thrive Win. And in Parent Thrive Win, we've been talking about organization. I've been giving them some tips on that. And sometimes I post them over here. And I said that I was going to come on and give a little bit of advice tonight about how to get organized. And I thought the best way to do that would be to share a little bit from my first book, this book right here, which is The Single Mom's Guide to Living Life and Achieving Her Goals. Yes, I sat down and put it all in a book for you. And I didn't just write a book to make me feel good. I wrote a book that would make you feel good, feel refreshed, and feel better, and actually help you do the work. And so there's plenty of pages like this for you to jot down ideas, for you to put down your strategy, for you to say, okay, this is how I'm going to dig myself out of this. And so it covers 12 topics, 12 challenges. It's 12 steps to getting up and out and living your life. And the first chapter is called Heal, because that's often what many of us need to do. Nobody tells us that. We don't even think we need it, right? But when you find that everything in your life keeps going south, keeps going where you don't want it to go, it's usually because there's something in you that's blocking it and that you have to release and you have to let go. One of the things that I had to do was I had to forgive. Hello, LaErica. What's up, sis? I had to forgive my kid's dad. And the process of all of that happening, it took me some years, but I realized that the longer I held on to hating him, blaming him for me having the life that I had, that I wasn't able to move forward. I wasn't able to progress. And let me tell you, the day I sat down to do this exercise of forgiving him, not even calling him up or texting him or mentioning to him any of this, I pretended that he was sitting in a chair in front of me, and I just let it go. And when I tell you that that exercise did something for me, that my God, 6 years. So I was with them 2 or 3 years, and had babies within that time. And then 3 years after that, we had already moved to a new city and a new state. And I still had some residual hate, even though God had given me a blessed place and new opportunity, and I was enjoying that new stuff. There were still some moments, those moments when your babies ask, when is daddy coming to get me? Those moments when life is hard and you need a break and you just want some sleep. Those moments that remind you that you're a single mom and you shouldn't have to be, right? So how do you deal with that? And I'm telling you, sister, that you have got to say, I'm going to forgive everybody. And from this point on, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to go after my dreams. I'm going to get to the point where I want to live and love again. You've got to for you, and you've got to for your babies. And so I have 2 boys. I have a high school senior now and a high school sophomore. But there was a time when they were in pre-K and first grade, and I was that mom that was at every event. And I was that mom that did everything. I cooked all the meals. I washed all the clothes. I paid all the bills. I did every single thing that needed to be done. And I was tired and I was exhausted. And if that's where you find yourself, do it with honor, do it with love. Know that God is with you and lean on your friends and family. You don't have to do it all by yourself. When I learned how to make friends, oh my God, some of the best people in my life are my married friends, because they don't mind taking some of that load off. I watch their kids, they watch mine, and we came up together. And so I talk about all of that in this book. This is not a plug for the book, but I'm telling you, if there's ever a book you need, is this one. It'll bless your life. It's on my website and on Amazon. But, you know, I share all of this with you because I wanted to get into getting organized. And I think that it's very important to mention that when you're messed up on the inside, when you're distracted, when you're hurt, when you're emotionally unavailable, all that stuff pours out on the outside and it shows up. Right? It shows up in the way we treat people. It shows up in the way we dress. It shows up in how we act at work. And those things, if left untreated, if left undealt with, that anger, that bitterness, that frustration, all that stuff, we've got to get it out of us. And so it even shows up in the way that we handle home. Now, some people, you know, are neat freaks and that's their thing. They're OCD about it and they can get the stuff going. They may have the outer appearance together and the inside is messed up. But for most folks, what's going on the inside manifests on the outside. And so the first thing that I would tell you in order to get organized is that you've got to deal with that internal stuff. You got to be able to say, I work, I have vacation days. Maybe I should stop holding my vacation days thinking, what if the kids get sick? And just say, you know what, I'm going to take a day for me. I'm going to take a mental health day. And so I'm going to tell you, in order to get organized, first, just love on you. Do some self-care. Yes, honey, yes. Take care of you. Because as single moms, you know what we do? We run ourselves into the ground taking care of everybody else. Like the first years of being a single mom, oh, honey, clean everything here, taking care of babies there, full course meals, everything they needed and wanted. And they were like, we don't even want to eat this. But I was trying to be my mama. I was trying to give them the perfect, because I thought, well, since their dad isn't here, they've got to have this and they need to have this. And you know what? They would prefer to have a Happy Meal and some chicken nuggets, right? And I'm slaving away. And it took years before they liked home cooked meals. But what did I want to do? I wanted them to have what I had. And so I'm telling you, you got to get all this emotional stuff, all this internal stuff organized so that you can then say, okay, let me take my house room by room. Let me take this piece by piece, project by project, and then let me come up with a system so that I can keep things tidier, right? And you know what? There are just some days where I'm like, forget it. Okay, there are some days where I'm like, I'm not doing it. Boys do this. Thank God for dishwashers. Okay, and usually on the weekends are our cleanup days, because during the week we're busy. We're gone most of the day, ripping and running with games and all this stuff. And I've had to learn to let it go. Thanks. I've had to learn to be okay and not let it bother me. But the way I grew up, the house was clean by 9 o'clock in the morning. Everything was spick and span. But you know what? It was a lot of us. We had help. It wasn't one single mom and then a brood of children. And so we've got to start saying, okay, why am I trying to make my current reality what my childhood was, or fit this picture of what we think perfection is? Our kids aren't even looking for that. They're just looking for us to be present. They're thankful for us. They love us. They appreciate us. And sometimes even if they don't act like it, right? And so remember this, your babies are your babies. They're yours to raise them up so that they can go off into the world and live their own lives. They're not here to be here forever for you. They're not here to take the place of the man you could be dating, right, or should be spending your time with. And so I'm all about being this do it anyway woman, and go after your goals and chase your dreams. But I also believe that just because one thing didn't work out doesn't mean that you can't find good love, right? So I talk a lot about relationships and dating, and I do dating confidence coaching because it's very near and dear to my heart, because I went through that and I see so many women broken, and I'm like, you gotta let it go, baby. You gotta release. You know, yeah, he did this, but guess what? That dude is living his life, and you've got to start living yours. And so ask me some questions, pop some things in down there. This is our time. I will come on from 7 to 7:30, 7:15-ish, depending on the interaction we're getting on Sunday nights, because I want to make sure that I'm able to give back in some way. I love writing. I've written 2 books. And I love blogging. I don't always get to do it the way I want to. And sometimes I have some guest posts out there, but it's all to bless you. If you're on my email list, I write to you sometimes. Sometimes it's not every week. I really try for it to be every week. But it's all because I don't want you to have to need me forever. I want you to be able to fly. I want you to be able to go out and say, you know what, this was a season in my life, but I'm rocking and rolling. I got it going on. I can go help somebody else. I can go share. Yes, honey. I can go share what I've learned. I can help another single mom along the way. I can help my married mom friends. Listen, I got some married friends that, God bless them, listen, are going through some things. And I wrote a post because of it. Like, I had a lady, she was like, can you write for married moms who feel like single moms? And I said, absolutely, because I see so many of my friends going through it. And I had a friend tell me one time, she said, you know what, I know if we got a divorce that I can make it because I've seen you do it. And listen, I'm just out here trying to live life, honey. I'm not trying to be the role model. But I realized that over the years, people kept asking me, they kept saying, how do you do it? How do you do it? How did you go to college full time? How'd you work full time? How'd you do this and raise kids? And I'm like, you did it? You don't? How do you not? Right? It's what we have to do. But I realized that it took some healing. It took some decisive action. Hey, Auntie, it took me saying, I'm not going to die here. You have to be able to say to yourself, my heart is broken. I had this life and it's over. Can you have that life back again with somebody else? You've got to be able to have faith. You've got to be able to believe in you. You've got to say to your babies, we're going to make it. And I looked at those. Listen, let me tell you, I got some beautiful boys, honey. Let me show you this picture again. I got some handsome babies. And they were even more cute. And I looked at them at the age of 2 and 4 when I broke up with their dad. And I was like, my babies are going to have what they're supposed to have. My babies are going to have what they're supposed to have. We are not going to die here. I'm going to push through this thing. And although it took me about, I think, 3 more years before the Lord allowed me to move from the job that I was at, where there were 7 women, I counted them, 7 women the dude was sleeping around with. Before he allowed me to leave that place, I had to forgive that guy, and I had to forgive those women. Because guess what? When you're the only breadwinner, you can't go and lose your job, honey. That means no roof over your head and no food. And I wasn't about to lose what I had to take care of me and my babies behind some dude who was already gone. I had already lost that battle. And guess what? I realized that I won. Because I would have been losing had I had him in my life. My kids would have been losing. They would have learned how to be a whore. They would have learned how to mistreat women. And they didn't. So guess what? I won. And sometimes when we lose things, when we lose people, when our heart is hurting, we can't see that God is blessing us, that rejection is a blessing. We hear it and it sounds cliche, but it's a blessing. So I don't see any questions down there. I came on to share a little bit tonight to have a chat. And I will tell you one thing about us single moms, especially us women who are African American. We don't want to tell people our business. We are strong, we are amazing, we are brave, we are resilient, but we also hurt too, right? So you have to learn to get honest. You have to go through a process to be able to become transparent. Like I'm on here today telling you all my business after I've healed, right? But sometimes you've got to be willing to do the work, and you've got to be willing to ask for help. And so if I'm telling you that if you're having an issue with single parenting, something going on in your life right now, maybe it's, my kids don't do what I tell them to do, right? This lady right here has raised 2 boys, and my boys are varsity, wrestlers and football players and all that stuff. But there's not a day in my house you're going to not do what I tell you to do. And so, if you have an issue with that, if it's finances, I've been through the up and the down and the all around, won it all, lost it all, in between. I know all about that. I've definitely suffered. And I've written about it in both of the books that I've written, just to encourage you and to share how you can come out. And in fact, the last chapter in the first book is all about how I got my money under control and giving you some tips and advice. And so, I write about that on the blog as well. And I'm sharing all of this because I'm really finding we have such a wound in us as Black women that it's so hard for us to share. I mean, we share with our girlfriends, yes, And sometimes we even keep it from the people that we love and that we know. I know because I'm that strong Black woman as well. And I've had to grow through that. And God's taken me through some things where I had to drop my pride and I had to be able to say, I need help. Right. And so I'm sharing this because I host events. I do all kinds of things to help us, especially single moms. And it's not just limited to African American women, but that's the biggest part of my market. Right. And so I find that we have a problem asking for help. We have a problem spending on ourselves unless it's to look good or to get our hair done. And I'm not generalizing. I see it. Okay. I've been that person as well. And when it comes to our personal development, our growth, sometimes we don't invest in an area like we should. And so I'm on here free tonight, no charge, and I'm asking you if you need help with something to put a question in down there, and I'll be glad to help you. And so I coach women. Obviously, I do that for a fee. I'm coming on tonight to be able to assist you. So I'm sharing this for anybody who catches the replay. Always, always, always be willing, be vulnerable enough to say if you need help and to ask a question. I have a Facebook group. If you want to join the Facebook group, it's called Parent Thrive Win. In there, whatever we say is kept within the group. You can ask questions in there and get assistance. But I'm saying all of this to you because it really is a sore spot in my heart, because I want us to be able to say, I'm going to invest in me. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to, push for my dreams and be a great mom. Every woman needs a tribe surrounding her. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's part of why I go over in that Facebook group almost every day and encourage the women and support the women and try to get them to open up and share. And it's so many women who lead the charge because we've had to go through our broken places. And when you're broken, it's kind of hard to tell people what you're going through. When you're hurting still, it's kind of hard. And that's why you still need to reach out and get help. So yes, honey, we all need a tribe. So that's what I want to do over here. I hope you kind of understand my heart. But I will come on Sunday nights. I used to do this over on Periscope. And man, we used to have some good times. I have 100 Periscopes. I've done probably 200 and something more. And then they just delete them on different topics. They're still out there live. They will bless your spirit. We crack up a little bit, but it's some really good stuff over there. So you can find me on Periscope. But I want to come over here. The Facebook group here is called Parent Thrive Win, which is the name of the second book, which is why I did it. I did it on purpose because I want us to parent better. I want us to thrive in life, and I want us to win. And this is a devotional that I wrote for us because I realized when we read things, it's always catered toward women. Well, we go to women's conferences and it's, mostly stuff for married women. And I wanted to make sure that we have something for us that would speak to our needs, right? And so the book is called Parent Thrive Win. The Facebook group is called Parent Thrive Win. And I'm going to have another book in December, which is the blueprint to being able to parent, thrive, and win. And so I'm super excited about it. But yeah, every Sunday I'm going to come over here. If you have questions for me, pop them in throughout the week. If you want to send me a PM, do so. But I'm telling you, I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart, out of the kindness of my heart, because I have a burden for us, because I want to see us win, because it's hard. It's hard to be a single mom, to make it in this world, especially as an African American woman, all the things we go through in our careers, climbing the corporate ladder, whatever it may be, right? Dealing with the folks, dealing with the stereotypes when we're out and about, and then coming home and then trying to strike the balance between mom who loves everybody, raises everyone and gets their respect back. I understand that we have our challenges, but I'm here to tell you that's still no reason to quit. There's still no reason to give up, and there's still no reason to do what you know you need to do. And so I am encouraging you to go after your dreams tonight, to open up your heart to love again, to release any of the pain and the hurt that you've gone through in your past, because it is not serving your present and it will delay your future. That's what I had to tell you tonight. Get organized by clearing out your space on the inside, and then you can start working on the outside. And I know this because I've had to do it myself. All right. So any questions before I go tonight? Let you guys have. The group name is called Parent Thrive Win. You guys have 3 questions, and I don't let everybody in. I do look at profiles. I do check because, I don't do any cursing and stuff online. It's not a group where we talk about men and man bash. We don't do that at all. It's a support And of course, I share some things in there that I don't share with other people. Sometimes I go live and I teach in there. So it's a really good group to be a part of. And I'll teach a little bit longer than I do tonight. Thank you for the hearts and the likes and all that. But I really have a burden for us because we spend so much time taking care of everybody else. And we don't take care of ourselves. And you've got to stop it. You've got to stop it. Within your life, there is room for you. There is time for you. And there's time to get it all done. Oh, every Sunday night, I want you to take inventory of the week ahead. Literally, I have a planner. Where's my planner? I have a lot of planners. Here's one right here. I have 3. And journal planner. And this is one of them that I use. And I'm telling you, you have got to start putting down the things that you're responsible for, whether it's work, running the kids here, doing this, doing that, so you can really see your week. So you know why you need to see your week? You need to see your week so you can see your time for you. If you don't have time for you built into your schedule, you're doing this thing all wrong. And I know it because in the early years, I was the same way, flying by the seat of my pants, taking care of everybody else. Never any time for me, resenting it. And this is why I'm telling you, you've got to find time for you. So take some time tonight, get organized, get prepared, pray, breathe, relax, meditate, whatever you do, right? But set yourself up to be successful next week. All right. Love you, love you, love you with the love of Jesus. I pray I've said something tonight that's blessed you. I'm going to go and get ready for my week ahead and check on these boys of mine. But I'm Kwanda Lamb, the winning single mom. You can find me over at kwandalamb.com. I'm a coach. I'm a speaker, as you can see, an author, and I host events for us. I do masterminds for us, and I also host an event called Brunch and Love, which is a relationship panel where I bring today's experts together with you, and we have an amazing luxury experience, and there's lots of transformation and breakthrough that goes on in the room, I'm telling you. So if you have an opportunity to attend one of my events, I encourage you to do so. All right? God bless you. I will talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody, for participating. I hope to see you in the Facebook group, right? God bless, and I'll holler at you tomorrow. Bye-bye.